Hey guys, it's finally fall. Of course, here in Tennessee, it went like this. Summer, 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 fall, winter. So, 3 weeks ago at this time, it was 90-something degrees here in Tennessee. So, whatever. It's finally fall, guys. It's finally cool weather, and I'm so excited because I've been waiting for the opportunity to do a video for you guys about alternate forms of carry. When I say alternate forms of carry, I'm referring to alternate positions on, you know what, let me show you something real quick. Something that I did on my range bag before I jump forward onto something else. This side is red with a speed loader, or with a Lula, mag Lula, and this side is blue. The reason I did this is, at a glance, I know that this side is blaster, which is Star Wars speak for handgun, and this side is red for rifle. Yeah, somebody said rifle, good job. Blaster, blue, red, rifle. And it keeps your mag Lulas where you can get to them. If they fall, they don't really go anywhere. All you have to do is go back to the main bag and tether them back in place. And these pouches hold more than enough ammo in them for you to make it all the way through the majority of one day of training, if not one particular class. I actually made it all the way through the class with just the ammo that I had in here. So it's a good training tip for you guys. So anyways, we are finally in cool enough weather where you can wear heavy clothing that helps you hide your sidearm on your side, because while appendix carry is great for concealment for some of us, it still is a bit of an irritation. And I'll be the first to tell you that whenever I wear appendix carry for an extended period of time, it just kind of tends to irritate. It makes my hip joint hurt a little bit. It's probably because I'm 47. But the older we get, the less resilient our bodies become. And unfortunately, bad guys make no distinction between young prey or older prey. They're perfectly happy to attack both, so you have to remain armed. And so I reached out to the folks at Bravo Concealment, and BAM! They sent me an outside the waistband holster, which love it, love it, love it. They sent me the main belt clips that go with it. They sent me the, I forget what they're called, the paddle attachments that go on the back, which are nice. And then I had these, the pancake clips, which I like the pancake clips because it really keeps the holster tight against the body, but I wanted to try all three iterations. My two favorites really are the paddle. The paddles, because you can go in and out of the holster very efficiently. You can pull it off, you can leave it. And yes, someone's going to say, well, yeah, I wear my gun all the time. Okay, sweetheart, shut up. There are times where you really do need to take your sidearm off. For whatever reason that may be, there are times where you really do need to, like for example, if I'm going into a federal building where there is a magnetometer at the front door, bro, really? You think I'm going to tell someone that I've got a medical device? That's called being in handcuffs in a heartbeat. So yeah, there are times where I've got to take my gun off because of things I got to go do. And I'm not a cop anymore. I don't have that shield that goes with the sidearm that allows me to go in and out of security checkpoints like I used to. So, but I like the pancake clips because they really keep it tight against the body. Same with the extra mag carrier. Oh, I forgot. Oh, okay. The reason this is empty is I wanted to show you guys something. Come here. As you guys know, when I'm carrying appendix carry, I have my blue jeans modified. And when I say I have, meaning that I did it myself. You take a Sharpie marker, you scroll down the middle of the pocket. Most pockets are 6.5, 6 3/4 inches across. So you just bisect that right down the middle with a Sharpie marker, and you just stitch it up with just a needle and thread. I used to use a speedy stitcher, but honestly, that's overkill. Needle and thread gets it done. And then the last little portion at the very top of the pocket right here, you just want to like double and triple the stitch back and forth, because this is going to be the highest stress point where you're going in and out with your mags. Well, for appendix carry, that works great. But once the holster is here, for carrying purposes, it slides back here. For most of you, what is that? Most of you call that 4 o'clock, right? Because you're righties. For me, that's 8 o'clock. 7-ish, 8 o'clock. As I've mentioned in previous videos, as humans, we tend to pay attention to one another when we're walking toward one another. And so when I'm approaching you, you're eyeballing me. If you're trained properly, if you're paying attention to the details, you're eyeballing individuals as they walk toward you, not as they're walking past you. So when I'm walking towards you, if I've got my sidearm here, and we'll go ahead and get an extra mag in here. If I've got an extra mag in the carrier, even a big boy like me, I can't really hide this, okay? That kind of sticks out, doesn't it? And you're, at first glance, you're gonna go, wow, that dude's fat. And then you're gonna go, wait a minute. Because if you're like me, you're really looking. And I'm gonna go, there's a bulge there. Is that just a gigantic phone? Or is that something else? Which leads me to the next point. The nice thing is, we now live in a time where cell phones have gotten redonkulously large, and people wear them on OtterBox holders on their belt. So we as a society are kind of accustomed to seeing bumps and lumps underneath shirts, which helps for those of us that like to carry guns. But even still, I would say to you, take your sidearm and move it off to your haunches. Move it off center line if you can. Same with your extra mag. And you'll notice I've got a 21 round GL9 mag pull. Sorry guys, it's really cold out here. The GL9 mag pull 21 rounder here. And I can still conceal that really well by just sliding it off to the side. And now that profile has been dramatically changed. So now when I'm walking past you, I'm like, hey man, what's up? And I keep going. You're not really kind of thinking, well, there's a gun there. You're just thinking, big dude walking at me, and I walk past you. This does not change the ability to get the weapon out in any way, except, well, in ease of getting the weapon out, it's that, right? But what it does change is like, for example, if the gun is here on the side, and I'm just going to do this for a second, and I'm carrying an open cover garment. All it is a matter of support hand goes here, shooting hand throws the cover garment off, weapon comes out, support hand joins the weapon hand, and you've got control of the weapon. For this type of a setup, where this is here, the last position that I want to be in is in a position where I'm reaching over like this with my support hand to grab my cover garment to pull it up so that I can get my sidearm out. Because now, if you're the bad guy and I do this, I've just completely delivered myself into your hands because I've completely turned my torso off center. I am now actually out of balance, and all you've got to do is grab me and just bundle me to the ground by grabbing my shoulder here and pushing here on the pec, and all you do is rotate that person and down they go. So now, I went out to the range yesterday and had to completely retrain myself all over again because things have changed for the fall. And I had to basically go support hand here, or support hand stays in a defensive position. Shooting hand goes over to the weapon, sidearm comes out, and from here I can actually begin shooting. But really, you know, it's better to just join up with the pistol. So it really makes for a position, for a shooting position that I like. It works really well. Even as I'm doing this video, I'm sure I'm going to fumble a few times because my shooting stance has been, for the longest time, you know, throughout the year, has been this, where it's support hand goes down, garment comes up, pistol comes out, and I shoot. So I had to go out to the range yesterday and do live fire training, where I was working on getting my pistol out and repeatedly making sure that I was doing it in such a fashion that, in fact, you know what? You notice my hand kind of skipped off the garment. So yesterday I was having to force myself to slow down, and I was doing drawing and firing. Don't fall, don't fall. There's a little game that I play with these. I hit it dead center of the face, pushes it back, and as it begins to rock forward, if it rocks forward too much, I pop it again. It forces me to find my front sight post and find my shot again. Anyways, as I was working with this yesterday, I was getting draw, presentation on target, and shot times of like 2.5-ish, 2.7-ish seconds. And I was like, dude, that sucks. But here's the deal. And I'll go ahead and address this now because I know someone's going to say it. For the concealed carry practitioner, meaning the private citizen, Your draw doesn't really have to be fast. Your draw actually has to be efficient, and your draw actually kind of has to be clandestine. If you're sitting in a restaurant with your family and you've already pre-done your job, you've already identified your exits, okay? You've already positioned yourself in a position where you can see that front desk, that front door area where you suspect that an issue is going to come from. Because remember, part of active killer is theatricality. They want the stun effect on the crowd. They want that yeah moment where they can really startle people, because that's actually part of the effectiveness of stunning the prey and keeping it under control. Guys, it's the devious nature of evil, but you better study evil so you can understand how to beat it. So I'm sitting in the restaurant, I'm having a meal with my family. My family already knows that from time to time, which is like every couple of minutes, I'm going to go across every single person in that restaurant that I can see, and I'm just going to eyeball them. And I'm going to go back to my meal, back to the conversation, and one more time. And I just scan everything. If something begins to look like a threat for me, I have absolutely no problem with clandestinely pulling my weapon out and just holding it under the table, trying to figure out if the dude who's wearing the garment that looks out of place for the season, which is typically going to be large bulky garment during warm weather, right? Or dude with the backpack and he's standing, he's in a standing position and he's digging around in his bag, right? It's one thing for a person to be seated and digging in a bag, and it's another thing for a person to kind of stand in the middle of a position, like for example Olive Garden, those decorative planters, you know, with the plastic flowers in them. If some dude props a bag on that and starts digging around in it, you better start wondering why that guy's standing there doing that. So obviously I make sure no one's seeing me doing this. And yes, guys, I have done this before, right? Gun comes out under the table, dude comes out with a laptop, we're good. Gun clandestinely goes back into the position. That's why I like this position, because funny thing is, from a side position, I actually find it easier to get my sidearm out than from a seated position. Well, probably because of this. And even though I have shed a fair amount of weight, I still have a gun on me, so it is what it is. But those are things that you guys ought to think about. The beauty of carrying on your side outside the waistband is that when you're driving, especially for a protracted period of time, this is so much easier to deal with. You can bring it from back here, slightly forward, for a driving position. Because remember, when you're seated, this is a lot of what you get from the seat behind you, pushes on the handle of the gun, which is why carrying a small sidearm is a good idea. But remember, don't go so small that you're all kinds of comfortable carrying, but then you're in a miserable position when you get into a fight. Because if you get into an altercation with someone where you're doing more than trading one or two shots, you're in trouble. I'm going to pick on the Glock 43. That's consistently the one. Actually, that one in the it's not the Shield. I forget what it is. Bodyguard, maybe, I forget. Anyways, the subcompacts. This is a compact Glock 19. The subcompact handguns that are like in that 7-round range. Guys, I have consistently seen people draw the weapon, get it out there, miss, hit, and then they're done. They're out of ammo. And they sling out that mag and they dig out their next mag, and they try to get it in there, and they finally get it seated, and they finally get the weapon, you know, put back back in battery, and they get the weapon back up, and you know, they get maybe a shot or two at that point. The instructor says, okay, targets are down. And the guy consistently, guys and gals, I've heard him say, wow, that gun runs out of ammo fast. Man, is it hard to load. So pack enough gun for the fight. Choosing a good holster is going to help you conceal, because remember, a Glock 19 is nothing but a Glock 17 that's been chopped here and has been chopped on the front. So choose the weapon that gives you enough weapon to stay in the fight, but not so much weapon that it really wears you out. And this right here is where handguns wear you out, when they stick out and they catch the seat and they're constantly forcing you to move around. And also, more so from a seated position, if that muzzle is long, it starts digging in right at this area right here. You can put those clips in different positions to create a different cant effect to the holster. Cant meaning the tilt. You can, this one's actually designed to be tilted forward a little bit, but you can really even with this one, you can alter the position of these, like this pancake clip can be moved up so that this holster tilts forward even more. If the gun is tilted forward, it's more comfortable for carry. It also puts you in a position, because remember, the flinch effect causes you to shutter down. If something goes boom, you automatically go like this, and if your gun is already tilted forward, it helps you get it out and helps you get it, helps you clear the holster quickly and get on target more efficiently. That one always wants to stand there. I love this rig, guys. I carried on my side for years as a cop, and while I enjoy appendix carry, it cannot be argued with that carrying on your side is fast. Someone's gonna say, well, appendix is faster. Okay. If you're wearing a cover garment, not this. If you're wearing a t-shirt, the cover garment, vest, button-down shirt, whatever the case may be, this is so much faster than this is. It really is. It's been proven by the chronograph. It's been proven by shootings that have happened that have been caught on video. Guys, this is a really fast way, a very efficient way to carry. The carrier that I have for my magazine is set up with the same type of clips that the holster is. The new ones from Bravo Concealment have adjustment screws on them, which are really cool. The beauty of this setup is it'll take a Glock 19 mag, it'll take Glock 17, in this case 21 rounder mags. It takes them all comfortably. It sits where it's supposed to. What's so neat about the new generation of stuff out now, because I've been in this industry for so long now that I've seen this generation of, bent Kydex and now injection molding. And at first I was kind of about injection molding, but now I really like it because it's being done correctly. People are actually doing the homework. They're actually doing the CNC machining for the plates properly. The molds are coming out nice and clean, and things are actually working. We are now, while I'll be honest with you, 2005-ish, 2007-ish, that window was really a great window of innovation. We have now entered a window in like 2018, 2019, where we have really taken those technologies that we've learned and we've really polished them. We've really focused the capability of CNC technology. Guys, there is no excuse for poor weaponry and for poor support equipment anymore. CNC technology has leveled the playing field. From the buckle on my belt to the tripod that's holding my camera right now, to everything from shooting barriers to auto parts to holsters, mag carriers, CNC technology has leveled that playing field, and it's really neat to see that people like Bravo Concealment are using that technology to, first of all, erase their backlog. They used to have a backlog of products going out, and guys, you remember what it was like? You used to have to wait for a holster. You put a holster order in, you'd wait 6 weeks. Dude, you're waiting 6 days now to get stuff. It's really cool. Guys, if you have any questions, shoot them to me in the comment section. The information on the gear that I'm wearing is there, and as always, I thank you for watching. God bless you all. Get those guns out of practice. Have a good one. I gotta knock this guy down. Took you long enough. Like trying to take down a Terminator.